Ferrari is about to flip the table on Formula One, and they're doing it by risking everything. While other teams chase trophies and headlines, Ferrari quietly walked away from an entire season, betting that the biggest rules reset in decades would be worth the pain. In 2026, Formula One won't just look different, it won't think the same way. And Ferrari believes this is their moment to either define the next era or disappear into another decade of what-ifs. The gamble is enormous. Engines split evenly between electric and combustion power for the first time ever. A cornerstone hybrid system deleted overnight. Fully sustainable fuel forced into performance limits. Weight targets that contradict basic engineering logic. And just months before unveiling their most important car in years, Ferrari watched key figures walk out the door, rivals whisper about hidden advantages, and the legal grey area threaten to reshape the rules before a single lap is completed. This isn't confidence. It's conviction under fire. What makes 2026 different isn't just the scale of change. It's how deeply the regulations rip through the foundations of Formula One. This isn't a refinement cycle where the fastest teams stay fast by polishing what already exists. This is a clean sheet reset. When the FIA signed off on these regulations, it signaled that the competitive order would be torn down to the studs. Power generation, energy deployment, fuel chemistry, weight distribution, and drivability all change at once. There is no stable reference left, only interpretation. That's why teams started years ahead. The moment the rules were approved, development clocks began ticking, not because it was optional, but because missing the concept wouldn't cause tense. It would cause seasons. Formula One history is ruthless to teams that misunderstand the reset. If you get it wrong, there's no mid-season fix. You suffer publicly, repeatedly, and expensively. At the heart of all this sits the most radical change of all, a true 50-50 power split. For the first time in F1 history, the combustion engine is no longer the unquestioned king. Electric power steps into equal authority, fundamentally altering how cars accelerate, deploy energy, and behave under pressure. The electric motor almost triples in output, while combustion power drops sharply. On paper, total horsepower actually increases. On track, everything becomes less predictable. Power delivery now matters more than peak figures. Half the car's performance depends on energy that must be carefully managed, not endlessly harvested. Deploy too aggressively and you're exposed later in the lap. Hold back and rivals are gone before the straight ends. Drivers can't simply lean on torque anymore. They have to negotiate it. Trust between driver and car becomes performance. Then comes the quiet killer. The death of the MGUH. For over a decade, this component allowed teams to harvest energy from exhaust heat continuously, masking inefficiencies and rewarding extreme complexity. Its removal fundamentally changes the game. Without it, electric energy becomes finite. Once you've spent it, it's gone. Strategy shifts from maximizing power to choosing when power matters most. This single deletion lowers the barrier for new manufacturers, but it also strips away a safety net for established giants. Performance shifts away from hardware muscle and towards software intelligence. Control systems, deployment timing, and energy recovery logic now decide races. Engineers aren't just building engines anymore, they're programming behavior. As if that weren't enough, 2026 introduces mandatory 100% sustainable fuel. No fossil carbon, no legacy combustion tricks. These fuels burn differently, behave unpredictably, and narrow operating windows to a razor's edge. Teams are already encountering reliability concerns in testing. Not catastrophic failures, but warning signs. Power must be delivered cleanly, consistently, and without adding mass. And mass is where the regulations start to feel almost cruel. Minimum car weight drops, promising lighter and faster machines. But the power unit itself becomes dramatically heavier, thanks to larger batteries, stronger structures, and increased cooling demands. The math becomes brutal. Teams must strip enormous weight from the rest of the car just to meet legality. Every gram saved costs exponentially more than the last. And you don't recover weight losses with clever tuning. If it's heavy, it's slow. This pressure forced Ferrari into a decision that shocked the paddock. Early in 2025, they shut it down. Aerodynamic development stopped. No upgrades, no late season push. Everything and everyone pivoted to 2026. It wasn't surrender, it was triage. Competing for a fading championship would only steal focus from what Ferrari believed could reset their future. The cost was immediate and painful. Race weekends became exercises in patience. Drivers showed up knowing they had no shot at victory. Engineers worked without public validation. Morale eroded quietly. Fourth place in the championship told the story brutally. Ferrari chose the long road and underestimated how lonely it would feel. Behind the scenes, however, time became their weapon. While rivals split attention between now and next, Ferrari closed development loops early. Errors surfaced sooner. Concepts matured quietly on dynos long before anyone saw a lap time. This wasn't neglect. It was obsession. Then everything got unstable. Two of Ferrari's most critical power unit architects departed for Audi within months of launch. These weren't replaceable roles. They were foundational minds. More senior exits followed. Publicly, Ferrari played it calm. Privately, questions spread. Had knowledge walked out the door? Was development truly complete? Or was confidence masking disruption? Reinforcements arrived from across the grid. Engineers freed from shutdown programs. Specialists with no restrictive leave. Ferrari rebuilt fast, but rebuilding isn't the same as continuity. And that's when a different battle emerged. A technical controversy began brewing over compression ratios. Ferrari, Audi, and Honda raised concerns that rivals may have found a loophole exploiting how compression is measured under cold conditions versus real operation. Reports suggested potential performance gains measured not in horsepower alone, but lap time, the kind that decides championships. The FIA responded firmly, but uncertainty lingered. Protests remain possible. The rules could still bend. Meanwhile, the competitive field for 2026 is the most crowded of the hybrid era. 6 manufacturers, works teams everywhere. Mercedes is rumored to feel echoes of 2014 confidence. Red Bull is building power units in-house for the first time. Honda returns fully committed. Audi is investing long-term. There's no safe midfield anymore. To prevent another runaway era, the FIA introduces convergence mechanisms, performance reviews, additional development freedoms, and support for underperformers. Dominance may come, but not without resistance. Early advantages won't be permanent. Every race becomes data, every update a response, and still, rumors refuse to die. Claims circulate about Ferrari's internal progress, about concepts abandoned, about deficits masked by optimism, none verified, none dismissible either. What is known is this: Ferrari committed fully. They sacrificed results. They absorbed internal damage. They showed confidence by planning to run final spec hardware immediately. History offers a warning and a promise. Massive resets create chaos, and chaos doesn't reward certainty. It rewards courage. Ferrari chose pain in 2025, believing 2026 offered something rarer than wins, control over a new era. In a few months, the truth arrives. The cars roll out, the numbers surface, the whispers either fade or explode. Ferrari's gamble will either be remembered as the moment they reclaimed Formula One, or the moment they proved that belief alone isn't enough.